Look around you right now. What do you see? A table? A phone? A wall? If you're like most modern people, you see objects, dead matter, stuff that just sits there until you use it. We live in what sociologists call a disenchanted world, a flat, two-dimensional reality where water is just H2O, and a meal is just calories, and a house is just a box we sleep in. But this is a lie. It is a modern blindness that has stripped the color out of human existence. For 99% of human history, we didn't see the world this way. We saw a world that was alive, vibrating with hidden meaning. We spoke a language that we have almost entirely forgotten. That language is symbolism. I'm not talking about literary devices or traffic signs. I'm talking about the ancient philosophical concept of the symbol. The idea that visible, physical things are actually windows into invisible, spiritual realities. When you understand this, you stop living in a flat world. You start seeing the divine hiding in plain sight. Today, we are going to learn how to read the universe again. We are going to deconstruct the mundane, your breakfast, your clothes, your hallway, and reveal the sacred architecture underneath. The first thing we have to break is the idea that spiritual means separate. We have this dualistic habit of thinking God, or the universe is up there, and we are down here amidst the dirty dishes and the laundry. But true symbolism crashes these two worlds together. The word itself comes from the Greek symbalein, which literally means to throw together. A symbol is where the physical world and the spiritual world collide. Think about water. Chemically, it's a solvent. But symbolically, universally, it is chaos, it is death, and it is rebirth. You can't undergo a spiritual transformation without it. This is why we have baptism. This is why we wash before prayer. The water isn't just cleaning dirt off the skin. It is a physical participation in a spiritual reality. The invisible truth rides on the back of the visible element. This is the key. You don't have to escape your life to find the sacred. You just have to look at the matter right in front of you until it becomes transparent. Let's apply this immediately to the most repetitive, mundane act of your life. Eating. 3 times a day, you participate in a cosmic drama, but you probably scroll through your phone while doing it. We treat food as fuel. We optimize it for macros. But slow down. Look at the philosophy of the meal. When you chop an onion, you are handling something that was once buried in the earth, absorbing rain, photosynthesizing sunlight. It is a battery of cosmic energy. The act of cooking is alchemy. You are taking raw, chaotic nature, and through the application of fire and human intention, transforming it into culture, into nourishment. This is why the kitchen table has always been an altar. In every ancient tradition, the meal is a sacrifice. Life is given so that you may live. This isn't poetry, it's biological fact. When you eat, you are turning the external world into your internal self. I remember a specific Tuesday where this clicked for me. I was burnt out, eating standing up, treating my body like a machine. I decided to stop. I made a simple soup, but I changed the tempo. I watched the oil heat up, the way the viscosity changed, shimmering like gold. I smelled the release of the herbs. I felt the heat. Suddenly, I wasn't just making dinner. I was participating in the cycle of life. By the time I sat down to eat, I wasn't just hungry. I was grateful. That shift in attention turned a biological necessity into a liturgical act. The table became a sanctuary. Now, look at your body, or rather what covers it. We think of fashion as superficial or purely functional, but clothes have always been a form of enclothed cognition. That's a psychological term describing how the clothes we wear actually change our brain chemistry and behavior. But spiritually, it goes deeper. Clothing is a language of identity. Why do monks wear robes? Why do judges wear gowns? Why do soldiers wear uniforms? Because they are putting on a new reality. They are signaling to themselves and the world that they are stepping into a specific mode of being. You do this too, whether you know it or not. When you put on a suit, you stand straighter. When you put on sweatpants, your mind softens. The fabric touches your skin, and your spirit responds. You can hack this. You can weaponize your wardrobe for spiritual growth. Don't just grab the first clean shirt. What spirit do I need to embody today? I read about a woman battling severe depression who used this. On her darkest days, she didn't wear gray. She forced herself to put on a structured, vibrant jacket. It was her armor. It was a physical symbol of the order and brightness she couldn't feel on the inside yet. By wearing the symbol, she eventually invited the reality. The outer shell began to shape the inner man. This is the power of the symbol. It works from the outside in. We have to talk about where you live. Your home. In his book, The Poetics of Space, philosopher Gaston Bachelard argues that a house is not just a container for people. It is a topography of our intimate being. But our modern homes are often cluttered, chaotic, or sterile. They lack a center of gravity. You need a sacred space. And I don't mean you need a new room. I mean you need a focal point. In ancient architecture, every home had a hearth or a shrine. It was the axis around which daily life revolved. When you remove that center, the home feels scattered. You can fix this today. Find a surface, a shelf, a windowsill, a corner of a desk. Clear it. This act of clearing is the first step. Creation by subtraction. Then, place objects there that anchor you to the transcendent, not decorative objects. Symbols. A stone from a significant journey. A flame that represents presence. A photograph of an ancestor. These aren't knickknacks. They are external hard drives for your soul. I have a small shelf with a single candle and a piece of driftwood. Every morning, I light that candle. That 1 second, the strike of the match, the flare of the flame, is a signal to my brain that the day has begun with intention, not accident. It transforms the bedroom from a sleeping box into a temple of rest. This leads us to the mechanism that ties it all together. Ritual. A ritual is just a mundane action performed with divine intent. It is the difference between habit and liturgy. A habit is something you do while asleep. A ritual is something you do while fully awake. You are already performing rituals. You just aren't directing them. The morning coffee, the commute, the brushing of teeth. These are loops. If you perform them mindlessly, they drain you. If you perform them symbolically, they charge you. Take the act of walking through a doorway. It happens 100 times a day. Usually you don't even see the door. But in every culture, the threshold is a place of power. It marks the transition from one world to another, from the chaos of the street to the peace of the home. The next time you walk through your front door, pause for 1 microsecond. Acknowledge that you are leaving the profane world and entering your sanctuary. That tiny mental pause changes the energy you bring into your house. You leave the stress on the mat. You enter with presence. This is the secret of the enchanted life. It doesn't require you to move to a monastery. It doesn't require you to buy crystals or learn ancient Greek. It only requires a shift in vision. It requires you to stop seeing the world as a collection of dead objects and start seeing it as a web of signs. The coffee is not just caffeine. It is the warmth of morning grace. The shirt is not just cotton. It is the vestment of your daily mission. The home is not just real estate. It is the temple of your family. The divine is not hiding. It is waiting. It is shouting at you through the things you touch every single day. The symbols are all around you. The question is, are you reading them?